All right. So, students, good afternoon. In this video, we'll be continuing our discussion that we did in the last videos. Okay. In the last video, I told you about the personalities. This was the chart that I showed in the last video. So, let's continue from there only. So, in the next video, we would be elaborating about skills, right? What makes a person skilled, right? How we can call a person is skilled enough for a job. Okay, so there are two types of skills. One is hard skill, and the another is soft skills, right? So, for a student, it can be categorized as uh, the hard skills and soft skills. The first one, hard skills, is all those things that you have collected till now in form of education, right? Your schools, your colleges, your projects, your internships, whatever skills you have acquired in your academic life, that would be considered as your hard skills. Correct? Right. Now let's talk about the second type of skills, which is soft skills. As I have already mentioned so much about these soft skills, so let me repeat it. The soft skills is a skill which is not measurable in terms of marks. You cannot take the exam on the soft skills. You cannot take the measurement of the communication skills, right? Generally, right? So soft skills consist of all those things which are not related to the academic career of your life. So soft skills comprises of your communication skills, your behavior, your confidence, your interpersonal skills, your presentation skills, how well you present yourself, your dressing sense, your gestures, postures, right? The way you talk, the way you move your hands and your body, right, in front of the interviewer and HRs, right? And apart from that, your uh, some of the creative skills also come in the soft skills, right? So there are two types of skills on which we majorly work throughout our life. When we say that we are developing our skills, right? So either we are developing our hard skills or we are developing our soft skills, right? There are two types of development of skills. Okay, now let's move to the next slide. Now these are the questions that generally comes to people's mind while we talk about these soft skills, right? So the first and the foremost question that I am going to ask you also, that which skill is more required according to you to fetch a job? What do you think? Your hard skill fetches a job or your soft skills fetches a job? Right? You can pause this video for maybe 1 or 2 minutes and uh, think hard that what skill is actually required to fetch you a job, right? Is it more share of a hard skill, or is there a more share of a soft skills in fetching you a job? Okay, so according to these studies, and we what we generally see, according to these studies of the biggest universities of the world, and we also generally see that 80% of the jobs are being fetched by using the soft skills. Only 20% jobs are being fetched on the basis of the hard skills, right? So all the things that you do academically, your marks, your projects, your internships, everything, your technical skills, all those things actually are responsible only 20% to fetch you a job. Whereas your confidence, your hard work, your communication, your presentation skills, right, your behavior, all these things are 80% responsible for you to fetch a job, right? So that is very much true, that 80% of the soft skills, 80% of the time a candidate has been hired on the basis of their soft skills, not on the hard skills, right? Okay. Then I'll come to the next question. And the next question is that what is in it, on which skill do we spend more time, right? All again, pause this video for 1 minute and think think thoroughly that we have done our schooling. We have spent around 12 years in schooling, right? And then we reach to the graduation college, and the post graduators also reach the post graduation college. So all those around 20 to 22 years of our life we devote towards the hard skills, towards development of our hard skills, right? We need to study, we need to make projects, we need to submit reports, we need to make the we need to attend these seminars, we need to have the trainings, internships. So what we focus on, we focus on developing our hard skills only, right? Only 20% of the time we focus on developing our soft skills. We don't actually work to develop our soft skills generally, right? We don't actually work to develop our communication skills, develop our confidence, self confidence, presentation skills. We generally don't work on these type of skills. So I can say that only 20% of the time we spend on the development of the soft skills. The rest 80% of the time we have actually developed our hard skills, right? And what you can see from the comparing the previous slide and this slide, that the soft skills actually require 80% of the 80 the soft skills is actually responsible for 80% of the time to fetch a job, and only 20% of our hard skills is required to fetch a job, right? And we when we try to spend more and more time, we have just the reverse ratio. We spend 80% of our time on our hard skills while we only spend 20% of our time on soft skills, right? So that's the one fact that we should all agree throughout our career, right? The one skill that is more required, we don't spend much time on that skill, rather we work on a different on a different set of skills which is actually not so much required to fetch a job. Okay. Now my third question would also be very important, that is that which is the more common reason for the termination of a job. Okay. So this is something that is not yet very much familiar from your perspective. You must not be very much familiar with this question, because you may have just entered the professional life, or may have not entered the professional life. You may be the students, right? So this is a question for maybe an experienced person of more than 5 years of corporate experience. So that person may actually be able to determine this question well. But you also try to guess this, right? I'm not expecting a proper explanation to come to your mind while seeing this question, but you should also try to focus, you should also try to think from an HR's perspective. See, termination and the application and the joining of a job is controlled by the HR of that company. What is HR? Human resource, right? So HR department actually is responsible for all the termination and all the application and joining of the new candidates, right? So according to the mentalities of the HR, what do you think? What can be the more common reason to fire someone, to terminate someone from a job? Okay, so let's talk about hard skill. uh, do you think that the HR would terminate a person if he is lacking some knowledge? If suppose there's some technology on which the company works, suppose I take an example, Java. So suppose the company works on Java, okay, and there's an employee who is not very good in Java. Okay, he is not been able to do his projects in Java, right? So will the HR look to terminate him, or there's another employee who is excellent in Java, who is very good in Java or any other technology that has been used in the company, but his confidence remains very low, or he doesn't have the right attitude to do the work, right? Or he is not presentable, or he is not willing to work, right? So that all these things comes under soft skills. So there's a person one person one good in hard skills, very good in hard skills, but very weak in soft skills, very weak in soft skills. And there's a person two. So there's a person two which is very good in sorry which is very good in soft skills but very poor in hard skills. So what do you think that HR would try to train them on? It is very difficult to train a person on their soft skills compared to hard skills, right? It is very, very difficult to train a person on on soft skills compared to hard skill. Suppose you encountered this person too, who doesn't know any of the technologies on which company is working, but have a right confidence, have a right attitude towards working, is very hardworking in nature. So is it easy to retain the person too, or is it easy to retain the person one who has an excellent command over the hard skills? He knows everything about the work of the company, but is not motivated enough to do the work, or is not having the right attitude to do the work, or is not presentable, or not able to speak in front of the people. So what do you think the HR would consider to terminate? Obviously, I would say that most of the time, around 80-90% of the time, he will terminate the person one, right? Because the person one cannot be trained to change their soft skills. It is very hard to make a person very low on confidence to make him confident, very much with negative attitude to make him positive towards the company. If an employee is negative towards a company, then it is very hard for the HR to change his view about the company, right? It is very hard for HR to make a person presentable in just a matter of 1 or 2 months. But if there's a person who doesn't have the knowledge of, suppose, the technology used in the company, it is very easy for HR to actually work on this person and make him grow in the field of this technology, because the person has right set of soft skills. He is motivated, he is willing to learn things, he is willing to do the hard work. So it is actually easy for an HR to work on the soft skills, sorry, to work on the hard skill of a person than to the soft skills of a person, right? So I can say that the more common reason for the termination from a job will be the lack of the soft skills, not the hard skills. So that's why the soft skills would be very much required to sustain in a company. Okay. All right. So that's it from my side in this video. In the next lecture, we will continue with some of the more things regarding this the campus placement training, right? Placement process, right? Okay. So see you in the next video. Stay tuned and wait for the next video. Thank you.